There's a reason 2018 LeBron isn't just another great playoff run. It's the closest we've ever seen a human being ascend into a basketball. Stats collapsed, time slowed, and even physics seemed to bend. This wasn't just dominance, it was divine intervention in sneakers. Let's talk about God mode. Imagine waking up and finding your right-hand man gone. No warning, no goodbye tour, just Kyrie Irving requesting a trade and piecing out to Boston like this was his solo album, and LeBron was holding him back. That was the opening act of LeBron's 2017 through 18 season. The Cleveland Cavaliers were already on shaky legs, but now the legs were gone. It was LeBron and exactly who? Dwayne Wade on his farewell lap, Isaiah Thomas trying to fit in like it was still 2016, Derrick Rose playing musical chairs with his knees. The team felt less like a roster and more like a group therapy circle. Mid-season, it got weirder. The Cavs blew the whole thing up. 6 players traded out, 4 new ones brought in. Jordan Clarkson, Larry Nance Jr., George Hill, Rodney Hood, all solid dudes, but none of them playoff tested. It was a full-on identity crisis. In the middle of the season, LeBron wasn't just playing basketball, he was managing chaos, and the media, they had a field day. The Cavs are cooked. LeBron's legacy is in jeopardy. He's 33 now. Maybe Father Time finally punched in, but here's the thing about corners. That's where you find the monsters. LeBron wasn't just carrying his team, he was dragging it uphill while everyone else hung on for dear life. Night in, night out, it was him orchestrating the offense, anchoring the defense, and somehow keeping the whole thing from falling apart. No second star, no system, just sheer willpower, brilliance, and a man playing chess while the rest of the league was still learning checkers. And he was just getting started. The first round wasn't supposed to be this hard. The Indiana Pacers were tough, sure, gritty, well coached, with Victor Oladipo having a breakout season, but they were still a 5th seed. This wasn't supposed to be a war, and yet LeBron found himself in a 7-game slugfest, just trying to survive April. From the jump, Indiana came swinging. They took game 1 in Cleveland, loudly, embarrassingly, and suddenly, the King didn't look so invincible. He looked mortal. But that illusion didn't last long. Game 2, LeBron opened with 16 points straight. Not the Cavs, LeBron. He finished with 46. It wasn't basketball anymore, it was triage. If he didn't score, the Cavs bled out. If he rested, they collapsed. So he stopped resting. The series became less about strategy and more about stamina. LeBron averaged 34.4 points, 10 rebounds, and 4.4 assists across 7 brutal games. And in Game 7, with the season hanging by a thread, he went full apocalyptic mode. 45 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, played 43 minutes, sat just long enough to take a breath. No other Cavalier scored more than 20 that night. It was one of those performances where you start wondering if he's still governed by the same laws of biology as the rest of us. And here's the wild part. For a stretch, in that do-or-die Game 7, LeBron literally touched the ball on 12 straight Cav points. Every possession ran through him, and no moment was wasted. Every screen, every drive, every pass, executed like a man who knew no one else was coming. LeBron didn't just play every minute, he owned every second. And when the buzzer sounded and Cleveland advanced by the skin of LeBron's fingertips, it was clear. This wasn't going to be a normal playoff run. This was going to be something else entirely, something we'd never seen before. If the Pacers series was war of attrition, the Raptors series was surgical demolition. Toronto entered the 2018 playoffs as the #1 seed in the East, riding their best regular season in franchise history. 59 wins, a revamped offense, a deep bench. This was supposed to be their year. The one where they finally climbed the LeBron-shaped mountain that had haunted them for years. Instead, they ran straight into a buzzsaw, wearing number 23. From the very first quarter, you can feel it. LeBron wasn't just trying to win, he was trying to end hope. He averaged 34 points, 11.3 assists, and 8.3 rebounds, while shooting over 55% from the field. But those numbers don't do justice to sheer violation. Game 2 was the turning point. If there was any doubt that Toronto could hang, it ended there. LeBron dropped 43 points and 14 assists, but it was how he did it. A fadeaway clinic so brutal, Raptors defenders looked like they were trapped in a dream they couldn't wake up from. Step back, spin, turn around, off one leg, off balance. With defenders draped on him, buckets every time. He made 7 fadeaways in the second half alone. No rim, no hesitation, just pure, repeatable torment. Then came game 3, the buzzer beater, tied at 103, 8 seconds left. LeBron takes the ball coast to coast, drifting left, somehow kisses a one-handed floater off the glass at full speed, off the wrong foot, off the wrong hand. Swish, game, series, souls taken. At that moment, Toronto wasn't just beaten, they were bewitched. The city unofficially changed its name to LeBronto. Even Raptors fans were laughing in pain. The sweep was complete, and in the final twist, a poetic cruelty. Raptors coach Dwayne Casey, who just won Coach of the Year, was fired because no system, no scheme, no seed could withstand the weight of one man in God mode. Toronto didn't lose a basketball series, they got exercised. By the time the Raptors swept into the Shadow Realm, the Eastern Conference had a familiar feeling. LeBron James once again standing alone at the top of the hill, daring someone, anyone, to knock him off. Enter the Boston Celtics. They weren't just talented, they were loaded. Even without Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward, they had a squad. A young, fearless Jason Tatum, a fiery Jaylen Brown. Terry Rozier is playing out of his mind. Marcus Smart is doing Marcus Smart things, diving into crowds, playing like he had 5 fouls and 0 regrets. And they were deep, they were coached, and they were hungry. Meanwhile, the Cavs looked like they were duct taped together. Kevin Love was hot and cold. The role players were inconsistent at best and invisible at worst. The rotation changed every other game. This wasn't a team, it was a LeBron dependency program. And yet, the series went 7 because LeBron refused to let it end any other way. Let's talk numbers. 35.3 points, 8.8 rebounds, 8.3 assists per game, played every game, every minute that mattered. And when it came to time to face the elimination in Game 6, LeBron dropped a 46 piece, including 11 rebounds and 9 assists. It wasn't just dominance, it was defiance. Then came Game 7 on the road in Boston, a building where young stars don't just grow, they explode. And LeBron, he played all 48 minutes. No breaks, no rest. Just 35 points, 15 rebounds, 9 assists, and a message burnt into the parquet floor. Not today, not yet. And just when it felt like the Celtics might make a push into the third quarter, Tatum, who had been incredible, tried to put a stamp on his rise by dunking over LeBron, and he did. Then, on the very next possession, LeBron delivered a chase down block that looked eerily like the one in Game 7 of the 2016 finals. Same stride, same timing, same merciless rejection of destiny. He wasn't just matching the Celtics' youth, he was rewriting time itself. By the end of the series, LeBron had led both teams in every major statistical category: points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals. No one, and I mean no one, had done that since the NBA began tracking playoff stats, and definitely not in their 15th season. This wasn't just a win, this was the stuff of a basketball legend. The king wasn't giving up his crown, he was reforging it. An heroic night at the time. By the time LeBron had walked off that Boston floor victorious, drenched in sweat, one step away from yet another finals, something became unmistakably clear. This wasn't just a playoff run, it was a man sacrificing his body. He played 41.1 minutes per game, more than any other player in the league that year. And that's not even counting the regular season, where for the first time in his career, LeBron played all 82 games, not for stats, not for glory, just because the Cavs couldn't survive without him on the court. He logged back-to-back 40-plus point games multiple times in the playoffs, and after each one, you can see the toll. There were no celebratory chest pounds, just hands on knees, closed eyes, searching for oxygen that didn't seem to come fast enough. One image says it all. After Game 7 in Boston, LeBron collapsed in the locker room, trainers rushed in. His body was cramping. Wrapped in ice, he didn't talk, just lay flat, breathing heavily. Not like a king who had conquered another kingdom, but like a soldier who barely made it home. He wasn't just carrying a franchise, he was sacrificing for it. No superstar, not in their 15th season, not logging this many miles, this many minutes, has ever shouldered a load like this. Not Jordan, not Kobe, not Kareem. LeBron wasn't just chasing greatness anymore. He was redefining what it meant to endure for it. But endurance has its limits. After dragging a flawed roster through the East, LeBron stepped into the NBA Finals facing something no amount of willpower could bend. A super team with 4 All-Stars, and all in their prime. Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. The Golden State Warriors weren't just a team, they were a super team at full strength. And yet, in Game 1, LeBron nearly stole the impossible. He dropped 51 points, along with 8 rebounds and 8 assists. Not just numbers, jaw-dropping plays, heat-check threes, bulldozing drives, through double teams. It was arguably the greatest finals performance of all time. He controlled the game like a god conducting chaos. Then came the moment. Tied at 107, final seconds of regulation. George Hill at the line, misses the second free throw. J.R. Smith grabs the rebound and dribbles out the clock. Confused, clueless, catastrophic. You can feel it. Even now, that slow motion horror of LeBron clapping, pointing, screaming, realizing the game could have been theirs. Then standing at the bench in overtime, motionless, face blank. The fire was still there, but something else had cracked. God bled that day. The Game 1 loss wasn't just a missed opportunity, it was a breaking point. A man who had done everything, watched his masterpiece get undone by a moment of madness. The series, over before it started, the Cavs were swept in 4 games, but LeBron still averaged 34 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 10 assists across the series. Consistent, dominant. And here's the twist. He played the final 3 games with a broken hand, suffered from punching a whiteboard in frustration after Game 1. Even broken, even demoralized, LeBron didn't fade. He fought, because for him, defeat was never about losing games. It was about resisting the urge to stop fighting. And in that way, even in a sweep, he never truly lost. By the end of that grueling playoff run, LeBron James didn't just walk off the court. He left behind a trail of statistical carnage. Despite falling short of the championship, his performance in 2018 felt like something out of a legend. He scored 748 points in the playoffs, the most ever by a player who didn't win the title. That number alone should have come with a warning label. It was less of a stat and more of a cry for help, because no one else was coming to save Cleveland. In 2018, LeBron wasn't chasing the title, he became the title. Leading the playoffs in scoring, assists, and minutes at age 33, he turned every game into a personal epic. Greatness wasn't measured in trophies, it was felt. That postseason, LeBron didn't just play basketball, he was basketball. Because what LeBron James did that year wasn't just about chasing championship, it was about defying the weight of circumstances. No super team at his side, no Hall of Fame duo to lean on, just LeBron, stripped of help, stripped of margin of error, dragging a shaky, unpredictable roster through a series after series of chaos, and somehow, some way, making the NBA Finals feel like where he belonged all along. That was LeBron in his rawest, realest form. No filters, no safety nets, no plan B. Just a man who refused to break even when everything around him was falling apart. And for once, people stopped trying to fit him into someone else's mold. He wasn't being measured against Jordan or Kobe or Magic. In 2018, those comparisons fell quiet, because what he was doing didn't belong in a debate. It belonged in its own category. It just demands to be witnessed. 2018 wasn't the year LeBron proved that he was the best. It was the year that he entered God mode and became inevitable.